When you looked at wave energy, you saw that kind of the whole world really wants it and believes in it. But although there's a huge demand, and although according to the World Energy Council, wave energy can produce twice the amount of electricity that the world produces now, no one was able to make wave energy a reality, like really commercialize wave energy. So basically, I live in Israel, and I'm talking to you now from Israel, but I wasn't born here. I was actually born in Ukraine in 1986. And 2 weeks after I was born, the Chernobyl nuclear reactor exploded, which was the largest in history nuclear disaster in terms of costs and casualties. I was one of the babies that got hurt from the negative effects of the explosion. Basically, one day, my mom, she approached my crib, she looked down at me, and she saw I was pale and blue and not breathing. I basically had a respiratory arrest and a clinical death. And luckily, my mother, she's a nurse, gave me a mouth-to-mouth resuscitation until the ambulance came and basically saved my life. So I don't remember any of that. I was a baby, but growing up, the family gatherings and meetups, everybody would say, wow, it's so cool, you got a second chance in life, like you should really do something good with it. And that's kind of the feeling that I grew up with, like, wow, that's a big thing, I got a second chance in life. And when I was 4 years old, my family immigrated from the Ukraine to Israel, to a very, very small town in the north of Israel. That's, growing up there, it was a super small city with no startups, technology, ventures, this kind of language wasn't really used or known. When I grew up, I decided to actually study political science at Haifa University in Israel. And I thought to myself, okay, that will be my way of kind of changing the world, making peace in the Middle East, or making something that's really, really big in politics. And when I finished my first degree, it was in political science and English literature. I found out that no lineup of politicians are waiting to hire somebody a young lady with a major in political science and English language and literature. So I went to look for a job, and my first job was as English Hebrew translator for a renewable energy company. And there I kind of, discovered the whole amazing world of renewable energy. And whereas solar energy and wind energy were amazing and incredible sources, but it seemed like there's not too much that you can, innovate in those fields. Everybody were using very similar technologies and kind of fighting for the same energy production quotas. Everybody wanted the same project, and all these big companies were fighting for it. And when you looked at wave energy, you saw that kind of the whole world really wants it and believes in it. Engineers, scientists, and so on. But although there's a huge demand, and although according to the World Energy Council, wave energy can produce twice the amount of electricity that the world produces now, that's insane in terms of electricity amounts. And I saw that all the big companies in the wave energy field, no matter how much budget they had and how much human resources and other resources they had, technical expertise and so on, no one was able to make wave energy a reality, really commercialize wave energy. So I saw a very, very interesting kind of, market segment where there's a huge demand, but really no supply for that demand. And, I was 24 years old. We were kind of naive at this age in a positive way sometimes.
Well, you knew since you were born you were going to change the world. It was built in.
Kind of. So I said to myself that, I don't have the funding. I don't have the technical background back then. I didn't have the contacts or, anything else that's probably needed. But I said to myself, they cannot make wave energy happen. I can make wave energy happen. And I really started researching in databases, books, anything that I could find about wave energy to see what went wrong, where other companies have failed or didn't succeed. And I found kind of 5 problems that really prevented the commercialization of wave energy. Started to thinking to myself, if I can find a technology that kind of combines the solution for these 5 problems, then I'm catching waves. I actually find a way to potentially commercialize wave energy. I came up with my own ideas. I'm not an engineer, so I couldn't make blueprints and sketches and so on. And I didn't have the funding to even register a patent back then. But then I met my business partner. His name is David Leb. He's a serial entrepreneur. He ended up investing the first $1 million into the company, and that was actually the beginning of EcoWave Power.